Making sure we don't have any technical issues, ideally. Sometimes it takes it a second to populate over here. Check, 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 check. Sometimes it takes it a second to... Alright, that sounds good. Alright, so what is gonna be on the agenda for today? We'll do a quick warm-up. Then I think we'll try some speed training. Oh, provided everything physically feels okay. Hey, Fishing In with Miles is here. What's up, Miles? Squirrel Sniper said first like with intent. Amazing. What's up, Squirrel Sniper? Hope you're doing well. So yeah, we'll hit some balls, we'll do some speed training, see what kind of numbers we can get with our various speed sticks. From across the pond but under the same skies. I love that greeting. Hey, Baby Shot's in here. What's up, guys? Thanks for saying hi. Appreciate you all jumping right in as soon as we went live. That's super cool. Woo. Another hot day here in the northeast of the US. We're under cover. It's another beautiful day, to be honest. I think tomorrow we're going to try and go tomorrow. I think tomorrow we're going to go in the afternoon. Try to play some golf. Maybe do a break 30 from the front tees kind of challenge. Get some cracks out of the back. Oh, before I forget, guys, we got a cool giveaway going on. You know what I need to do a better job of is putting the links that I want in the description of the stream. Just go grab it from yesterday's. Alright, guys, so I'm going to put the link in the description for not only the net return, if you guys are interested in that, that'll be in there as always, but the link to the giveaway video is going to be in the description. So if you're interested in entering, go check out the link there, watch the video. 22 people in the stream chat already, guys. Feels like it could be a big day on the stream. Who knows? Honestly, I think trying to figure out the algorithm is a little bit silly. But I will tell you guys that the, time of day seems to matter. I think, like, internet quality matters. Hard to know for sure, honestly. And frankly, it's not really that important because, whether it's 10,000 or 50,000, I'm just happy to be here. I'm grateful to get to spend some time practicing my golf. Got some cool folks in the chat. Oh, when you've been swinging a whole bunch of days in a row like I have, which is great, really the ball striking feels good, but it does take the body maybe an extra minute or two to feel loose and like it's ready to swing a golf club. So just grabbed a pitching wedge and I'll start kind of chipping some. There's a net return in action. Just pops that ball right back to me. Oh, definitely gonna have to stay hydrated today, guys, on a hot day. Gavin said hi. What's up, Gavin? Thanks for checking out the stream, guys. If you guys are interested, a little sneak peek behind the curtain. You know, without saying too much, I'm working on the first, partnership or brand deal for the channel, which is pretty cool. We've had some reach out that I didn't think were stuff that, was going to be of a quality that I'd feel good at standing behind, but this most recent one is definitely a more, a larger, more reputable brand in their space, and we'll see if we can get something worked out with them. That would be pretty cool. So just starting to build a little bit more speed into the swing as the body loosens up, but as you can maybe even hear, still some cracking and crunching going on as I work these joints through their, end ranges of motion. Hi, all the way from the UK. Amazing. We've had lots of cool UK watchers in our time. Squirrel Sniper said, that's epic. South Coast here. Amazing. Yeah, see, we've got people from all over. And when you get people from all over, sometimes those people are from close. Right, we've had some Scottish folks, some folks from the UK. I know that's redundant, but... What I also need, some sort of like shop back or a way to keep this free of debris. There's always something you can do to enhance your space. Wasn't the best strike. I'll pay attention to that so we're not getting that strike pattern too far out there on the toe. With regularity, still spending a lot of time working on posture. That was hit much better. Whew, all right, starting to get a little bit of looseness in there. What club are you hitting there? Good question. This is a pitching wedge. Just trying to get loose. Caden said, what irons do you have? These are the Tacoma 301 CB irons, guys. The goal in putting these in the bag was to get something that was a bit more forgiving than the blades I had played for a long time. I would say they're very solid. I've not been blown away by, you know, the performance. Like, oh my gosh, they're, you know, so easy to hit, and but they look really good behind the ball. They feel good when you hit it nicely. We can hit some 7-irons. You guys want to see 7-irons? I think 8 is my favorite club to practice and warm up with. If you made me pick one, I would pick the 8-iron. But we can swing a 7. There's also, I'm a weirdo about odd numbers. I don't really care for odd numbers. Like if I'm driving in the car and someone sets the radio volume to an odd number, we got to change that. See, pops right back to us. All right, so eventually we'll get to doing some speed training. Thank you for the tips. Awesome, I appreciate you subscribing. Thanks, guys. Those do sound nice, I agree. As someone who can hit a great shot and terrible one back-to-back, do you ever worry about launching a ball through that gap up top, LOL? No. Nope, I have never worried about missing the net. I don't really want to speak it into existence either, so I'm just gonna continue trusting my abilities and just have, you know, pretty blind faith that the net will be there to do what it needs to do. I think even beyond like a shot back, a launch monitor is really the thing I want to get out here. That was a good strike. Because we've got the portable one that does an okay job, guys, for, you know, driver. For club head speed, at least. I'm not convinced even the ball speed is very good. But for everything other than driver, it's just insanely inconsistent. So eventually, hopefully, one of those brands like I was just talking about, one of those brands would be like a Bushnell or Rapsodo, and we could figure out some sort of partnership with them. Pretend you didn't read that. Oh, don't worry, Byron. It's a great question. I appreciate your engagement and, you know, hanging out on the stream for a while. Funny enough, I was on the pitching green today with my new 56-degree wedge as my short game needs work. That's awesome. I think short game work is some of the funnest practice you can do. You know, just grab a bucket of balls around the green, practice different lies, trajectories, all kinds of different games you can play in the short game area. I would much rather do, you know, an hour of chipping practice than an hour of full swing work. That ball wasn't hit very well. My wife and I watched Jurassic Park last night, guys. That movie really holds up, let me tell you. I was, at certain points, even being like, I gotta try to go to bed. That movie just keeps you engaged. You know, it's not one that you're gonna find yourself looking at your phone a whole bunch, right? That was hit pretty hard. Ooh, let's see how that swing looks. Cosmic ordered that thought. Let's just go back a couple seconds and look at that last swing. Nice. I just can't do CGI now, John. Oh, yeah, I hear you. That part maybe for the early 90s doesn't hold up the best. But for a 1993 movie, you know, I was really impressed at how well it holds up. Bow, 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 bow. Swing feels pretty good. It's good to swing a different club. You know, look down at a 7-iron for a change. Still focus on posture and keeping this backswing nice and compact. Those are kind of my two thoughts at the moment. I think this golf ball, guys, is about to be retired. Ah, I had it. I had it for a moment. Look at this, guys. We've worn the cover fully off of this one, which is okay. Worth a watch, then. I have net and mat in backyard. What is a good device to get for data like yardage spin? Not a TrackMan, you said. Rapsodo, yeah, so I think my understanding is that Rapsodo, the MLM2 Pro, which is I think like $700, they say that's the best, you know, budget launch monitor, you know, that's within like 1 or 2% of a TrackMan. And certainly, you know, $700 is a lot less than $25,000 for a TrackMan. But somebody was in here the other day saying that the Garmin is really good. I've heard good things about the Bushnell product as well. My only experience with something at home, I mean, I've rented time on TrackMan a whole bunch. You guys have seen a lot of that content here on the channel. But I have not tried any of those other products, with the exception of the one I have, which is this PRGR portable launch monitor. And I usually give that one like a B for overall versatility. I have tried the Rapsodo MLM1, which I did really enjoy and thought that was pretty accurate. Just too quick in transition is my sense. Oh, Alan wants to know what kind of irons. These are the Chicomo 301 CB irons, guys. Really attractive CB profile. You know, a little bit of forgiveness and perimeter weighting, but very, you know, short heel to toe. Nice, clean, thin top line. Soldier really wants to know if I'm circumcised. He's asked this question a whole bunch. The answer, I would tell you, most importantly, actually, I'll tell you where to find the answer. It's on the island of Mind Your Business. It is steamy out here, guys, even with my cover and a little bit of breeze. Nice and humid out here today. Triple Bogey said, putting in work, love to see it. Thanks very much, Triple Bogey. I appreciate your support. You're talking about the original Jurassic Park. Yes. I was talking about the original Jurassic Park. I've not seen any of the newer ones. But I think after watching the one last night, my wife and I said we were going to check out some of the newer ones as well. gonna go back and I'm gonna hit, 5 in a row at like 30-40%. Try to really make sure that we're hitting them solidly. Nice. Nice. Looking for that crispy sound, guys, that compressed, ball first, then the turf. Nice. Really good idea to work on some of these slow speed reps. Practice your impact position. And I like to even, get in here, do this. Preset that hips open, shaft leaning forward, the position you want to get to at impact, right? And then you can make a little half swing to get back there and really understand, how early the hips can move, how open they, you can get them. Hey, Jax said hi. What's up, Jax? Thanks for the input. Going to try out the MLM1. Very cool. The only reason it doesn't work for me in this setup is I need my phone for streaming, obviously, guys. So I think you need, with the MLM1, it uses your phone to do some of the, put the whole thing together. So as far as, good tempo work swing, that feels really good. I'm definitely going to try that drill tomorrow before I go out for a round. Yeah, definitely give it a try. It's a really good drill. Again, these are the kinds of drills that I suggest people do, if they do get a net and a at-home hitting area set up right. You don't want to just, you can definitely get better by hitting a bunch of balls, swinging every day, practicing, making good contact, right? But, doing some of these drills in addition to some of those full swings, right, can really accelerate the speed of your progress. You guys have heard me say it before, but impact is just so important to getting better at this game, and that's why a lot of what you hear me talk about and what I work on myself is centered around that idea. Right, and then we can go into some more, full swing kind of stuff where I would go through a process, right? I have a target. And I'm actually executing a shot. That was like an A-. It was maybe, I don't know, half a groove low, but it started right at my intended target. That was an A. So that's kind of what it looks like, guys. Hey, Paul's in here. What's up, Paul Cummins? Bo says, I have my first high school tournament on Tuesday, Wednesday, and if I qualify Thursday, any tips? Yeah, so my tips would be twofold, right? One's, golf specific, one's, kind of more like a mental game. First one, just be present, right? Accept that you might be nervous or that things might feel different than when you practice or play practice rounds at home. Just try to embrace that. Say, hey, I'm doing something different. I'm putting myself in a new position. I'm testing my game. It's going to feel different. I'm going to feel nervous. And that's okay. You can still play really good golf when you feel nervous. I've done it. And secondly, I would say, feel good about your preparation. You can probably find out where the match is going to be played. Find a course, map ahead of time. So you can, play an imaginary round before you go out there and say, okay, number one's a par 5. It's probably going to be driver. The second one's a par 3. So you don't want to be analyzing those situations for the first time when you get to the course, right? So that's something I never did a good job of, preparation ahead of time to, give yourself a sense of what the round might look like. And from there, you can maybe spend a little time watching videos about golf strategy, right? Understand how to, put together a score. Sometimes you can make good bogeys, right? How do we do that? Avoiding doubles, so not hitting it out of bounds or in penalty areas, and not three-putting, right? So those are kind of the two big strategic ones I would share with you. Right, so like say you do hit a bad tee shot over into the trees somewhere, right? And you have a nice window, you can chip it back to the fairway, knock it on the green and try to make a putt for a par, or, probably tap in for a bogey. But there's also like a little window up there. You're like, well, if I hit like a high cut 7-iron through the window, I could get it on the green and, have an easy par. Just not worth it, right? Because you're going to make a 6 or a 7 most of the time that you try that shot. So I still struggle with this, guys. I like to try and, pull off the crazy shot or hit a great recovery rather than just pitching it back to the fairway. So those would be my couple quick thoughts for you, Bo. That was almost down the lens, yeah. Are you speed training still, bud? Yes, we are, Paul. I'm going to do a little bit of that here in a bit as I continue getting loose. Squirrel Sniper would know. I think we got up, when we were actually hitting balls, I think we got up to 114 club head speed, and without hitting balls, so right, just how fast can I swing the driver, 116. So, pretty happy with that progress already. But yeah, I wanted to make sure I was nice and warm. I've been swinging a whole bunch of days in a row, so just getting everything feeling good before I launch into some high-speed training. Yeah, those were hit really good, guys. So, you know what I do need? I do need our official tracker, which is just, it doesn't get any more official than that. Yo-Yo wants to know, how do you do high-speed training? So, great question. How do I do it? I have these speed sticks from Super Speed Golf. And these are different weighted clubs. There's a light, medium, and heavy, right? And there's an order, a protocol that you swing them in. You measure your progress with something like this, a portable launch monitor. This is the PRGR one that I was talking about a little bit ago. Or just club down and put something in the middle about 240 yards, be near the green at worst on approach. Back onto the fairway from the crap is the hardest shot, but once mastered, it's a scorecard saver. Yeah, well said, Johnny. Really good two-part comment there from Johnny C. Shout out to you. So, Yo-Yo, that's what we're going to do. We're going to run through that protocol where you'll get to see me swing these both right and left-handed. So, when I make a fool out of myself swinging them my non-dominant side, you'll know why. That is because Super Speed suggests that, right? You don't want to get, muscle imbalances, that sort of thing. So I'm going to set this up here. I'm going to run inside quick and grab the extremely official scoreboard tracker. Alright guys, so this is our extremely official scoreboard tracker here, and the way this works is we're going to go green, blue, red, and that's light, medium, heavy, and then we're going to go back to green for like a full max speed. And then before we start, right, I'll get a baseline with my driver, and then at the end we'll go back to the driver again and see how much speed we gained. Right, so we're going to do a little bit more stretching, and then I'll turn on the launch monitor and we'll start getting some data. Hey, LR Darts is here. What's up, LR Darts? I drive about 150 yards, 175. That's great. Yeah, again, you know, there's lots of skills in golf that aren't just club head speed, and especially, you know, I tell you guys, when I first started, you know, playing high school golf, I was, I don't know, maybe 5'3", 5'4", 115 pounds, and by my senior year, I was 6 feet tall and, you know, 180 pounds. So, you know, just remember that a lot can change in that period of time. So, work on building a well-balanced game, but obviously you want to build some club head speed, so don't be afraid to go out and practice swinging it hard, practice hitting, you know, some max speed drivers on the range if you have time. Alright, so let's get a baseline number. We're going to make some swings. Make sure. Alright. So let's hope we can get some good baseline numbers here. 104. 104 again. 106. 108. 107. Alright, so 108 will be our baseline. With the driver. Now we will start with the green. Whoops. This green club here. Do some step swings as well to really get some extra, you know, high speed stuff in. Alright. 5 swings with this green club here. 115. 120. 119. 121. 120. Okay. So now we will do the same thing over here on the left side. Oh, you know what's crazy? Probably help if I put the microphone back where you could hear me. Isn't that better? 102, that last one. 98. 99, one more. 103. All right, so 121, 103. Not shaping up to be a super high speed kind of day, but that's okay. Some days are gonna be like that. Just gotta keep putting in the work. Best round of golf of my life last week. That's awesome, LR Darts. Congrats, my dude. I like the setup. I'm moving my indoor garage sim hot box outside, going back to low-tech Golf Boy app. Love the canopy setup. Thanks, Johnny. Appreciate that. I'm 125 to 127 driver, only with 141, 290. Well, I mean, 125 is great, though, dude. That's awesome. Do some head weights for TSR2 coming this week for my 8-degree head. Very cool. But that's just so it can go straighter. Yes, I agree with that feel, right? There's something to, you know, really trying to let the club hang there at the top for a second, right? Before you try to release it and give it speed, right? You don't want all that speed up here wasted at the top. You want to, you know, wait to release it as long as you can to save as much of that speed for the golf ball as possible. All right, blue club now. Let's get some good numbers here. 114, 115, 115, 115, 115. Now for the left side. $93, $97, $96, $96, 100. I told you guys it was going to be ugly, having to watch me swing on that other side. Well, I think I saw Tommy Fleetwood maybe just came up with a new... He's going to try to go lefty on his channel, on his YouTube channel. All about that sweet spot, that square to a round object. There you go. Let's see 200. Yeah, I wish. Imagine 200 club head speed. That would be crazy. I think I saw some guy on Instagram swing a driver. Granted, it was a long drive driver. Like 159 or 100. It might have been 163. Like his club head speed was a ball speed number. It was just very silly. All right, guys. Red club. Give ourselves a bit of a breather. Try some of these step swings as well. Over here. There we go, that got up to 105. All right, got the heart rate up. Swing some of these. Red club now. 107. 107. 109. That's good. 109. 110. That's good with the red club. 110 righty. Now we'll go to the other side with our red club here. 92, 93, 90, 93, 95. All right. Now we're going to go back to green. This is the overspeed part, right? So trying to get this light one back up as fast as we can. 122. 122. 123. 124, there we go. 123. I think 124 is going to be a new high water mark on this portion. I got a golf baseball bat the other day. It's cool for weight training. More of a whoosh than a wish. That's cool. I'll have to look into that. So quick water break, 30 seconds. And then go back to our driver, right? See how our baseline compares to swinging it after getting the speed up. No, don't be fussy now. Quick reset. As you guys know, this can be very temperamental. $113. 111. 112. 112. 112. All right, so 113 is our max today. So maybe it's good, yeah. Just watched it, made me smile. I'm gonna hit you back with another video. I appreciate it, Julian. Alex says, fire fit as usual, John Boy. Thanks, Alex, I appreciate that. Later on, thanks for tagging me. Yeah, you're welcome. So 5 miles an hour, guys, you know, we got up to 108 and then we got up to 113. So clearly there's some benefit. And this 121 got up to 124. You can probably tell I'm out of breath, so it's a decent workout. I think, you know, with consistent, this was probably the, what do you guys think, 5th, 6th, 7th time I've done this on the stream, something like that. You know, if we did 30 sessions, 40 sessions, maybe we can keep pushing, you know, 113, 114, up towards 120. That would be the goal. Get back to where John was swinging it in college, 121, like, you know, 180 ball speed. How long have you been golfing? I've been golfing for probably 20 years, but maybe 15 competitively. I started, you know, in high school playing competitively, you know, tournaments and high school golf, that sort of stuff. Squirrel Sniper has a 1970 Ping A-blade. Very cool putter. I have something much less cool and not as old, although it's not in the bag right now, but I've been playing around with the Lab DF3. You guys actually got to see us use that on the stream last night for a little bit. We did a few minutes of putting practice. I'm actually just going to grab a few golf balls here and, tee some up and see what kind of speed numbers we'll get whilst we're actually hitting golf balls, which, as many of you know, is an entirely different endeavor, right? To, be able to maintain that speed and your balance, but also strike the golf ball. .30, I think it was more than 30. 30 would be tough to pull off with a full swing. See what I mean, guys, with the misreads, and it's just not the best from a consistency perspective. Nope, same thing again. So I'm never entirely sure what to make of that. Try a couple more, but as my frustration level mounts, my patience similarly diminishes. That was better. We got a club head number at least. Whew, I am dripping out here, guys. I have an Odyssey White Hot. Oh, very cool. I used to like those a lot with that really soft White Hot insert. Johnny's Gamer is a 2024 Ping Catch G with a Kotahi grip. I don't know anything about Kotahi, but that sounds cool. Have an Answer Blade Freddie Couples 92 Master Edition. It's fun to play. Hard to stay straight. Squirrel Sniper. How are the batteries? The batteries are great. I just changed them, a week or two ago. Here we go, 109, 289. These are always total numbers, guys. If you want to see what it thinks the carry is, just subtract 12. That's how we figured it out. With if you switch, it's pretty much, carry plus 12 is the total. Again, not very scientific. It's a very basic launch monitor, but it's better than nothing. We're out here trying to get better. It said 115, which I don't really believe because I wasn't swinging that hard. And you can sometimes tell just when it beeps prematurely also. .110, 279. That actually does seem right. It was hit very poorly. If Tom the Scot was here, he'd say do a 20,000% swing. .110, 286. Hey, Andrew Rickers here. I was getting eaten alive, but chips with no green to work with. What do I do from 5 feet off the green? Stinka said hi. Hey, guys. So, Trucker, don't ask that. We don't ever miss the net, so. Oh, superstars! Hi, superstars! Hello! Say hi. Say hi to the people. Say, yeah, we want to be on the internet too, Dad. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Yeah. What are you eating? What do you got? Ever thought of a shortened grip of a 5-wood? Gently, gently. That's an interesting idea. Yeah, so I like, if you're really close, right, to answer your question, I prefer to go to like a bellied wedge, right? So you use that leading edge to just kind of pop it up out of the grass, get it going. Right, what you're trying to avoid in that scenario is avoiding disaster, right? You just want to get it on the green. You're trying to get down in 3 still, right? You just get it on the green. Hopefully you end up in a 10, 15-foot circle. You have a putt that you can try to hole. But those are tough ones, right? When you're really short-sighted, it's just off the green. Sometimes it's in a funky lie. Are you interlocking? No, I'm still overlapping, Paul. Andrew says, I just added an M6-4 hybrid and ping crossover 3-iron to the bag and fell in love with both of them. That's awesome, Andrew. If you find clubs that work for you, just keep going with them. I haven't normally hit my 58 and either duff it or sail it over. That's funny. I bought a cheap tent net and ripped through it after 12 shots. I hit the neighbor's house, brand new RCT Pro V. Didn't feel like meeting them, so I let them keep it. That's funny, Trucker Belly. Well, there is something to be said for, you know, the investment you make in your hitting area product, right? That's why I just bit the bullet. I try to be a buy once, cry once kind of guy. So I just invested in the net return. You know, it's going to last forever, I think. You know, I certainly don't think, even if when we do eventually, guys, get up to 180 ball speed, right, this thing's going to hold up fine. I mean, if Bryson can hit thousands of golf balls into it, I'm sure that I can too. That was low on the face. 108, 288. $108, 279. $111, 292. There we go, guys. Starting to find it a little bit. Hi, guys. $112, 292. So higher club head speed, lower, or you know, same ball speed. I hit it hard, man. Do you have success with that? My worst shot is when I missed the fairway and hit a tree and hit me. Oh man, Siobhan, that sounds crazy. Have you ever played Sawcon? I have not. Let's get 8 more in a row. Wilson said hi. What's up, guys? You got me, Diego. Nicely done. I didn't know if that was short for some country club I was supposed to have known about. 110, 289. Come on. Let's get to like 115. $110, 283. That wasn't it. All right, come on. We're just trying to get that number higher. $285. 111, 295. Oh, hello. Hello. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. That's good kissing. That's good kissing. Yeah. Hi. All right, guys, we're gonna hit a few more of these high-speed drives, but before I forget, don't forget we have a couple more days, actually just until tomorrow, until we draw the winner of our giveaway for this very cool Adams hybrid. Extremely simple to enter. Just watch the video that's linked in the description. And, you know, go support Firefighter Golf on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram, John Young Golf. And you can enter to get this sent to you for free in the mail. We're going to pick a winner live on the stream tomorrow. A little above plane, yes. Be like an elastic band. I took all the weights off my Sim 2 driver and got to 121. Wow, that's high. Tiger says use your hands for speed. Just making sure that all the pups are out of there, out of the danger zone. Hit the top of that again. Ugh. Hey, 113, 296. That's something. That was hit pretty hard, but it said 60. 60 could be right, but I feel like it isn't. Ah. $111, $289. $109. Huh, felt faster than that. All right, guys, a couple more of these and then we'll go back to some ball striking work. Nothing. Nothing. All right. That's going to do it for the speed training portion of today's practice session. Hey. You're not a cow. We don't eat grass. Go on, inside. In. Thanks. They claim to be canines, but I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced. Has anybody played the new Battlefield game that came out? The open beta started this morning. I, for one, am a huge fan already. I know we mostly talk about golf and few other things on here, but big fan of that new release coming up. I think it comes out in October. Best ball flight I've seen and no register. Joshua, this setup is a W. Thanks, Joshua. I appreciate that. Stinka, do you have a discount code for the net return? I do. Check out the link in the description. You can save 10% off your purchase with that code in there. What monitor are you using? This is the PRGR portable launch monitor that comes with the Super Speed system. I have some 3 and 4 hybrids I rotate in depending on course. Yeah, I think it's a great idea to have a mix of clubs, right? I think I have 17 or 18 that I rotate around. Where are you from? Northeast part of the US, my dude. Rhode Island currently, but always subject to change. Been focusing with the irons about keeping everything nice and compact, trying to keep the hips stable, right? Not shifting too much around. Trying to just keep thumping it, something like that. Whew. Tell you what, that speed training required a lot of energy on a hot day. I'll tell you that much. If you guys have questions, things you're working on in your own game, things that you want my opinion on or the chat's opinion on, just drop a comment in there. Don't forget to hit the like button for us if you're enjoying hanging out, or even better, try to hit that subscribe button for me. Red dog, red dog. Oh, thanks, Squirrel Sniper. I appreciate you dropping that into the chat from the description. Very cool. Work on maybe some draws and fades. Just making sure that we're starting them where we need to be. And I like alternating so you don't get really stuck in any one pattern. I will say, although, you know, I generally feel pretty comfortable working the ball. The draw swing has felt much more accessible recently when I'm out playing. So I've been playing a lot of draws on the golf course. Although admittedly my version of a draw, you know, is still only, or even a fade, is only curving like a few yards. I really don't like to see the ball curving a whole bunch in the air, and you guys have heard me talk ad nauseum about my philosophy of trying to keep the club face as square as possible without needing to introduce a lot of rotation of the club face relative to the path. So, again, you know, when the club face is pretty stable, ball's not going to curve a whole bunch if you hit it solid. Woo! This breeze is amazing. Bro, can you shift the camera down so we can see the club contact? Can you not see the... Oh, maybe because of the chat? On my screen, it looks... Is that better? Smokey the Bear wants to know, any recommendations... Oh, chat's in the way. From the original Battlefield 1942. That's better. Alright, so you think that's better. Perfect. Any recommendations on golf hitting mats for sim setups? Well, I would tell you that this was a budget version, and as you can tell, it hasn't held up the best. This was just I think it was MaxFi hitting mat from Dick's Sporting Goods. You know, and I built the box out of 2x4s. It's got some padding, you know, tiles under there. Actually filmed a video about the setup, so that'll be out soon if you guys want to check that out. Obviously, full disclosure that I, you know, have the discount code and the affiliate stuff with net return. So as far as something that would be better or, you know, more built to last, I'm not sure yet. I would love recommendations. If somebody says, hey, I know the perfect solution for John's outdoor hitting setup, you know, drop it in the chat. Let me know if this camera angle is better for you guys. We're always trying to continue improving, you know, the stream, the you know, the quality of the product, if you will. I'm always trying to get better. How do I articulate these ideas, answer questions, you know, work my own game, make this stuff engaging. So I do appreciate the feedback, because otherwise it gets that much harder to improve and get better. I bought the $80 Amazon stance mat and cut in the Sig Pro. Sig Pro Softy Light with gym mats under is good for me. Okay, this is good to know. No wrist pain and get good numbers on spin. All right, great to know, John. I appreciate that. Johnny C. If you guys are enjoying the stream like these guys, like Johnny C and others, hit that subscribe button for me. Really does help us out, guys. I think we're about 7 months into our YouTube journey. Just hit 3,000 subscribers. And I'll tell you, behind the scenes, about 2/3, maybe 70% of all those new subscribers are from right here, from the live stream. So if you guys are thinking about subscribing, you know that you are not alone, right? We've seen a whole bunch of new growth on the channel by, you know, doing these live streams, trying to commit to doing them every day. And again, I'm continually just blown away at how much support there is from the audience, and I always say, you know, I'll keep showing up for you guys, you keep showing up for me, and so far it's been great. That was really crunchy. That was probably like a high 160s 8-iron. You know, like low 130s, mid 130s ball speed. Let's hit some wedges quickly. Just focused on contact and making sure we're striking these solidly, right? Get that club going up the plane and down the plane. Especially with the wedges, I like to feel like everything's really compact. You know, it's almost just like a 3/4 to 3/4 type swing. Good balance, good strike. These are all very, very important for good wedge play. right? If you're not making consistent contact, delivering a consistent, you know, face angle, you know, loft and impact, right? How are we going to control the distance? That's the whole idea, is to be able to consistently hit these clubs a certain distance with accuracy. Hey, Tay himself is back. What's up, guys? Hey, Extra Innings. Appreciate you being here. It needs to be slightly forgiving underneath. I agree. I'm looking to get the Rapsodo MLM. Do you have any feedback about it? So we were just chatting about this, and I've only ever used the MLM 1, so I'm not a good resource about the MLM 2 Pro, which is their newer one. Although, admittedly, I have watched lots of videos about it, and I think it would be a great addition to my outdoor setup. You know, if and when my budget allows, maybe we can invest in something like that. Or, better yet, you guys continue showing all kinds of crazy support, sharing the channel with your friends, blowing up the channel on YouTube and Instagram. And then maybe Rapsodo's like, hey, John, we want to just hook you up with a launch monitor and do some cool videos together. That could be awesome. Really pleased with the strike on all of these. Again, just focus on that nice compact movement. This might sound silly as a, you know, someone who's played really good golf for a long time, but I sometimes forget to just watch the ball all the way, you know, through impact. You know, sometimes like a running back coming out of the backfield will, you know, take their eyes off a little screen pass. They're like, oh, I just catch all of these. So that's been something that I'm occasionally finding myself, you know, thinking about. You hear that sound? It just has a nice crunchy ball first, then the turf type sound. How would we even do it though, guys? How do you get Rapsodo's attention, or Bushnell or Garmin or one of these companies to be like, go check out this channel? You know, it's a good opportunity to market your product and reach a new audience. Extra Innings says, I was talking about the MLM 1, so that is good you have used it. What is your feedback? I thought it was good. I thought the data seemed very accurate. I didn't love that you have to use your phone for to use the interface. And on hot days, especially like outside in the range in the sun, it would overheat occasionally. But overall, I mean, I really like the video and the output, right? It tells you, you know, club head speed, ball speed, you know, with the little video of your swing. Garmin R10, a bed sheet over the net, and a cheap-ass projector, you got yourself the roof. That's the hardest part. I appreciate it, Brendan. You're doing great, bro. Best way to learn is to teach, and you get to do all that while you do what you're passionate about. Oh, Extra Innings. I thought that comment was okay. Just for feedback. Don't worry, Brendan. You know, we're just making sure everybody's on the same page. But I do appreciate the mods trying to keep an eye on stuff. We occasionally have crazy people come in and say crazy stuff. But Garmin R10, I'm gonna have to look into that one. And I do have power out here via extension cord, right? We keep the computer plugged in most of the time. I think it could be a really, really cool setup. I could get a little stand right here, you know, maybe with an iPad to connect to it, whether that's a Rapsodo or a Garmin. And I think it could be really beneficial also to, you know, trying to explain some of these ideas, right? How do we talk about, you know, shifting path relative to target, about, you know, delivering more or less loft into impact, all these kinds of things that you can get good data on, and they can really be accretive or augment the teaching experience. So for somebody to say, like, oh, you know, I made the swing before and the angle of attack was -2, right? And then you know, I tried something different, right? And, you know, I saw on the screen that it went to -5 or whatever, right? So you can kind of use the data as a way to, you know, corroborate or vindicate the feelings and what you're working on in your swing. Right, so here I've just got a sand wedge. This would be a swing I'm trying to hit maybe like 105 yards. And it's just very compact. Working on making good contact with these. It's funny, you'll find when you go back to a very simple swing thought, like just hit it solid, right? The quality of golf shots that you can hit. You know, it's very easy to get your brain tangled up in swing thoughts and mechanics and all kinds of stuff in golf, right, guys? Ever play in Japan with those tats? I have not. I've never been to Japan. It's really high on my list of places I want to go. Mitchell, what club is this? This is a 56 degree. What's your handicap? It's currently around 2. I usually tell people it's closer to 0. You know, I played most of last year off of +1, but haven't played my best golf this season, which is okay. Oh, I appreciate it, Extra Innings. Good looking out. Anthony said your tattoos are sick AF. I appreciate that, my dude. It's definitely a hobby or a passion that I've had for quite a while now. It is funny though, because as someone who is obviously very heavily tattooed, you don't think of yourself that way necessarily, right? So I'll be out in public and I'll see people that oftentimes have even fewer tattoos than me. I'll be like, wow, that guy has some really cool, you know, sleeves, or they look like they got a ton of tats. Not realizing that, like, obviously people say the same thing about me every day. But after a while, you just don't really notice them, right? This was the club I used when I holed out most recently. Holed out from like 105 yards with this 56 degree. It's a perfect, you know, tight little draw. Landed pin high, took a bounce, spun back down a little slope, went right in the center of the cup. Those are always fun. Ooh, how long have we been going here? About an hour and a half? That's pretty good. What spin are you getting with that shot? 8K-ish. Yeah, that sounds right. I mean, when I see them on TrackMan, it's usually more like 9 to 10K, but I figure you know, the extra, some of that like 10 to 20% is because of hitting off the mat. We all know the truth, right? Which is that these things work much better outside, where they can track the actual ball flight, as opposed to, you know, the first 15 feet of it while it's hitting into a screen. Not suggesting it's not good, right? It's just better if you could hit it outside and get, you know, better numbers. That's why you see so many of the guys carrying around, you know, their TrackMan or their GC Quad during the practice rounds, right? Just to get really, really detailed numbers on how far the ball is traveling on the golf course. I will say, guys, this is the best my hands have felt in about a week or two. Dealing with all kinds of crazy stuff. Stinka, any tips for flop shots? Yeah, open the face. And the path needs to be way more like out and across it than you think. Right, so don't be afraid to really pick it up this way. Right, and let that club just fall underneath it, right? You want to keep that heel moving. Right, always keep that face nice and open. You don't need any sort of release in it, right? If anything, you want to feel like that toe hangs behind. And keep the speed up, right? You're not trying to hit it very far usually. But because of how open the face is, you'll need some amount of speed to still get that club under the ball. DR, what's your gamer ball? I've been playing this year the TP5X with a lot of success. I've liked it a lot, especially off the driver. It just seems to spin a lot less. And I also really like the Tommy Fleetwood version, right, with these picks. They call it the picks ball. This was a ball from a tournament that I had marked. Right, so easy to identify. I like seeing this on the green, just how the ball rolls, which might seem strange. Manuel said hi. That's pure. More hinging. Flop shot tips, lower hands, bend knees more, and yeah, out to in path. Awesome, I agree. Very well said, guys. So this TP5X I found definitely spins less off the driver than the Pro V1 that I was playing. Feels pretty similar. Around the green, it definitely, you know, doesn't spin quite as much, but that's okay with me. You know, I don't play on super firm and fast greens or on Bermuda or anything like that, where you feel like you gotta have that extra control around the green. All right, guys, let's hit a couple more balls, and then we'll likely wrap it up for today's stream. Hopefully, we'll be able to get it back out here tomorrow, hit some more balls, hang out, and maybe go out and play 9 holes of golf if we're feeling frisky. Nice. Always good to end on a good one. One more time, guys, if you would for me, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button on the stream. Don't forget about the giveaway. Go check out that video that is pinned in the description of this video here. Thank you so much for all the support. I couldn't do it without you guys. Really, really appreciate all the new subscribers, support on the channel.